Been a few months since we've seen you, so I have to imagine you've been kind of itching to get back in there.
Mm-hmm. Hell
So
yeah.
tell me about that, and I mean, is the downtime good for you at some point at this level of your career, or would you rather be on like, hey man, get me back in there right away?
Uh, I would always love to get back in the cage like as soon as possible, especially after a loss. So
Mm,
you just like get there, get a win in, and act like that loss never happened.
yeah,
But the downtime's cool because it gives me time to like really stay focused and get in the gym and work on what I did wrong in the last fight and get better. But if I don't capitalize on that downtime, then it's pointless.
does it feel like there's a certain amount of extra pressure or anything like that if you've got to come off a loss like the one that you had?
Uh, Not to me personally, but I know everywhere how everybody perceives it and how it could feel like that. But for me, it's just another fight, and it's like the pressure for me would be more as like let me show you like how I capitalized on that loss and how I got better.
Okay, sure.
And yeah.
Talk to me about being at 185 now for the past few fights. I mean, how much of a difference has that made for you just in maybe just even in your general disposition throughout training camp, knowing that you don't have to get down those extra 15 pounds? Because I mean, I've talked to you in a week
Yeah.
when you've had to get to 170 and it was hard for you. And I know,
Yeah.
like, I feel like I'm talking to a different guy right now
I'm
than
happy.
when I talked to you at Turning Stone Casino in New York a couple of
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah. Nah, it's a different feeling, man. Even throughout training camp, like it's a little bit of extra stress off my shoulders. Like I can just train and focus on getting better instead of training like worried about losing the weight. Coming here fight week and still being able to do interviews and talk normal and not have really fucking like actually have a voice box. Like it's different, bro. Like and so it takes me into the fight as a whole different person.
Do you feel, I mean, you feel that much stronger in these past
Hell
few
yeah.
fights? Yeah.
Mentally, physically, everything. Everything is lose. I mean, not making weight for a fight like that's like losing a fight before you even get into the cage, and so that like that fucks you up mentally. So
You,
yeah, it's different. It's better. I like it.
I think because you've been around for so long and people have seen you fighting for so long, they forget you're only 30 years old. I mean,
Yeah,
you're still pretty young
yeah,
in this game, right? Don't you
yeah.
think? I mean, and talk to me about what that kind of feels like to maybe be just like in your prime right now
Yeah.
and just kind of hitting your stride.
Um, what people probably didn't know is that throughout the whole time I was learning on the job. Basically, I was still young, so I didn't really know how to put things together. I'd go out there, I'd win some big fights and lose some big fights, but it was just like I'm still trying to figure this shit out. Now it's like I understand now. Now I'm in my prime. I feel like it. I feel great mentally. I feel great physically, and everything that like that path, that little window is starting to cross with each other, and it's really starting to work out for me.
I feel like this is the kind of point in your career where you can build some momentum and string a few together, and then
Yeah,
all of a sudden you're talking about being in title pictures and things like that.
yeah, yeah. I'm back in the title contention, and I'm looking forward to that. Just getting these wins going back to back and getting back looking at that belt.
Talk to me about obviously the opportunity you have against not just a former champion but a recent former champion, and what a win over a guy like Carvalho would sort of do for your career and those aspirations to get into the title picture.
It'll be a big win for me. Be a big win for me. I mean, he's not skill wise. I wouldn't say he's anything greater than what I've fought in the past, but it's just the fact that he did just have the belt recently.
Mhm.
It'll be a big win for me and to put on my resume.
When they called you and offered you that fight, was there any extra level of kind of excitement for those very reasons that you're going, oh man, like
Yeah,
this is a
yeah,
huge step up?
yeah. Because it's either fight a big name like that or fight some guy that nobody knows, and being able to say, yeah, I'm fighting the ex-champ or I'm fighting Rafael Carvalho, like that was like to see the look on people's face. Oh, that's gonna be a good fight. Instead of like, yeah, I'm fighting some guy like you wouldn't know. Like just that extra added like excitement made me want to get in the gym a lot more and train a lot harder and push me to see where I level up to.
I know you said there's nothing that he necessarily brings that you haven't seen before, but is there any particular aspect that you thought about more than another during the camp and worried about more?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's good. Yeah, he's definitely something to worry about,
Mm-hmm.
but I fought people that were good. I fought some of the best out there, so I'm not saying as it's nothing I haven't seen, nothing I need to worry about, and like that. Like he's tough, and I got to stay on my p's and q's, but it's definitely not out of any comfort zone that I haven't been in, you know.
Are you at the point where you just want to get a win, you need to get a win over a guy like him, period? Or is there a way that you kind of picture in your head and say, man, it sure would be nice to do this, or it sure would be nice to do that?
Nah, it's not. There's no wants or needs or nothing like that. I just, if anything, I just want to go out there and perform and do my best and have fun with this shit. Everything else, if I get the W, I get the W. But like, I want to go out there and show you who I am.